In the past year, he's been, amongst many other things, a blind piano player, a Chippendale stripper, and a beauty queen. And tonight, in the final episode in the present series of Quantum Leap, Dr. Sam Beckett gets his toughest assignment yet. Oh my, indeed, Scott Bakula. It's really, really good to see. It's a brilliant programme. I really, really enjoy it. So on BBC Two, 9 o'clock tonight. I think it's the last one. Sometimes it's going to be a bit too late for me, but I just stay up because, you know, I have to be up early in the morning.
Yes.
Now, what a role for an actor. I mean, when would an actor be able to play all these different characters? It just wouldn't happen, wouldn't it?
I can't imagine ever getting a role like this again, actually. It's been, I hope it's not the role of a lifetime. I hope there's other things after it, but
Sure.
it's such a great thing to go to work every day and have something different to do every 8 days, which is how long it takes to shoot the show. And I'm constantly being challenged. I learn new things all the time, and work never gets boring, which of course is the downside of doing a long TV show sometimes.
Sure, but because this is so different, I mean, playing all these different characters, how hard, though, was it for a man to play a pregnant woman? I mean, that must have been really extraordinary. I'm looking forward to seeing it tonight and see how it goes.
It was a great thing to get to do, because it's not something when you're studying to become an actor, you say, okay, now someday you're going to be a pregnant woman, and how do you want to play? You never think about things like that. So I spent a lot of time talking with my wife, reviewing her pregnancy, and I had a lot of friends going through it coincidentally at the same time. So I was on the phone. So, all right, now what does a contraction really feel like? Right. And then you just hope that you're not... I had a lot of fear about doing this role, because I know so many people have a very... so many women have a very definite feeling about their pregnancy, and it's very strong, and those images are very strong. So that if I do it wrong, people are going to be calling and writing, and he wasn't, you know... And the point of this episode was to really convince people that Sam was somehow pregnant.
What a brilliant idea for a series. I mean, it's an extraordinary idea. Was it an immediate success in America, or did it take a while to build?
It took a long time to build. It was a very hard idea to sell. It's amazing to me now, as I've been working so much, I haven't really been traveling, and this is my first time to really travel in 3 years. And it's amazing to be here in England, for instance, and someone saying, "Oh, we love the show, we love the show. This week you're pregnant," and they don't even think about it anymore. You know, in the beginning, the first time I played a woman, it was a big deal, and oh, how will it work? And now people accept almost anything that we do, and that's really, it's amazing. It shows the power of the show, because people have gotten past their hang-ups about what is he and who is he, and what they just accept it, and it's so we can do anything. You
can. I mean, there are no limits at all as to what you can do. It's extraordinary. What sort of category is it put in America? Is it sort of under the heading of sci-fi, or what would you say?
Well, it's technically called hour drama television. It's sci-fi, it's fantasy. Part of that is, I think, scared some people away, because really at the core of the show, it's a very gentle show about human relationships, and there's always a good heart story involved, and some people feel like, oh, it's another sci-fi Star Trek, or there was a show in America, I don't know if it ever played here, called Time Tunnel.
Yes,
in the 60s.
Yeah.
Remember that?
It's running again on Channel
really
4.
A great series, but not like ours at all.
No.
But people thought, oh, that's what it is, and so it was hard to get people to turn it on, but once they turned it on, they've kept it on.
Yeah. For you yourself, where did you start? Where did you actually start acting? What made you start acting?
I started acting, actually, I had a rock band very early in my life.
Did you?
Like in the 4th grade.
Right.
And
what sort of things did you play?
Oh, at the time we were doing a lot of Beatles things in the 60s, and we did everything, Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin, and just wild stuff. I think back now about it, it must have been pretty terrible, but we had a good time. We had a good time.
As long as you enjoyed it.
Yeah, my parents loved it too. It was nice and loud. But so I started performing that way. I did a lot of theater as a kid, mostly musical things. There's a show called The Mall and the Night Visitors. I don't know if you know that.
I don't think we've had that here.
It's a Christmas opera. It's Menotti wrote it. It's and I did that when I was 13, and I kind of got the bug there. I started in St. Louis, and I went to New York. I spent 10 years in the theater there, and then I moved to Los Angeles about 6 years ago.
Right, so you're living in LA now, that's where you're based?
Yeah.
Are you living with all the superstars in Beverly Hills? Or
no, they won't let me in there.
You've got to be vetted before you're allowed in?
No, that's right.
And they look at you and see whether or not you're allowed in there?
That's right.
But Los Angeles, I mean, we hear so much about it, and obviously there were the riots recently. Is it really a safe place to be, especially you've got a young child? Have you got to be there for your work?
I have to be there for my work. I can't tell you that I would honestly seek out Los Angeles to live in.
Right.
But it's where my business is, and the business has been wonderful to me there. So it's hard for me to say too many bad things about LA.
Sure.
The air is terrible. There are places that are unsafe, like there are in any big city.
Absolutely.
I lived in New York, and there were bad places in New York. But the city offers many things, and certainly for the entertainment industry, it's a great place to be.
Right, as long as you don't get sucked in by all the hype sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, you've got to sort of, and you seem very much, you've got your feet in the ground, and you're a family man as well, which probably
Yes.
helps. There
Yeah.
you are, on the ground. And
It
you know,
does
so
help. Children help a lot.
Yeah, it
You
gets
know,
it all into perspective.
Yeah, well, you have to
doesn't
get up early in the morning, so it changes your life.
Absolutely, know
Yeah.
all about that. We do anyway, that's for sure. So what next? What would you like to do next? I mean, obviously, is Quantum Leap going to continue? Will we, hopefully, we'll
It's
see
going
some more?
on another year. We do 1 year at a time, so that's all I know. But we've shot 77 shows. We'll have 100 at the end of next year, and I don't know if it'll go on beyond that. But I'd like to. I've been able to do a couple movies in the last 2 years, and I'd like to continue that. And I'd really like to get back to the theater, which is my kind of first love. So hopefully I'll get to do that.
Good. And Bakula is your second name. Where's that from? That's a
Bohemia.
Bohemia.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So there's. Do you sort of, is that like going a long way back in your family?
Yeah, pretty long. People wanted me to change it when I first started, but I think
No, it's good. It's good. You don't want to be, you know, like Troy Tempest or something. Scott Bakula has a ring about it.
That was
don't
my
you think?
first name, and I changed it from.
Yes, you changed it from Troy Tempest. What are you saying?
No, just,
Transylvania.
yeah,
Yes.
your father's not Count Bakula, is
No, not that I know of.
I was waiting for that.
He
I was
doesn't
avoiding
sleep
that.
much though during the.
Listen, it's been really, really good to see you.
Well, thank
We've had
you.
loads of calls this morning about you coming on. The show's obviously very, very popular, and we shall be glued to our screens 9 o'clock tonight to see you as a pregnant lady.
Yeah, well, thanks
Can't
for
wait.
having me on. It's been
Can't
great.
wait. Okay, good stuff. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, good to meet you, Scott.